Good morning, everybody. Jack Leeson with StartupTrading.com. It is January 10th, year 9:13 in the morning. Title of the video is Short Targets Hit. So, guys, we've been looking at these targets, mapping them out for a couple days here now. I mean, obviously a little bit of a weird schedule with the prior day being closed due to a funeral. But the downside target of this extension here in the NQ, let me blow this up here. The downside target of that extension was here at like 21,050. And I've been mentioning that, we've been following this extension for quite some time, and it's been very fruitful and very technical. Now, on the number, we go to the extended session. There was, it's just a honestly great trading range. Both overnight yesterday, there was traditionals, out of highs, and then this morning, right before the event, we retest that 38% retracement of the extension. We fall lower, then trade a 50% retracement short and go straight down to targets. We go straight down, and that's the low, and we've bid 115, 20 points off of that low so far. So going into the day, that low may hold. We'll see what happens, but that is going to be my discount level. I will really only look for longs at that level or below that level. And we could potentially, I'm just trying that same anchor new low from what is Wednesday's low. And I'm going to make the discount level that 38% retracement. I'm going to be, for the morning session, not looking for longs above that 38%. So I will be looking at potential shorts anywhere in here. I don't know, where they're going to step in, or if they just, literally just step right in at the 38% retracement. The market has not been open since basically Wednesday, and now we have a big news event that's completed a target of, multiple days of consolidation. So with that being said, move on to the ES. The ES's extension, the anchor is drawn a little differently. You got that morning Thursday low. We have it once to target here, and then we had that same anchor new low trade going into the end of the day on Wednesday as the NASDAQ. That was kind of that touch post FOMC meeting minutes. We ran up into the level finally in the ES, and I was chatting in the Discord on what was Thursday, and I'm saying I think we're getting these targets. Usually when we have FOMC meeting minutes and then a failure to break above that short setup, all we do is get up and test. We usually complete those targets, and here we are today. I mean, we're completing on another news event. We did have some downside momentum yesterday, but basically the news event, the secondary news event here this week has completed the target and so far put in the overnight low. And that is where that negative 23% retracement, I've also drawn a discount level here. And we basically smacked that target, and we are getting bids out of these profit targets, which means the next setup, realistically, that we can technically assume is the same anchor new low, which really, that's like, it's a widening pattern. It's a broadening formation for people who don't understand fibs the way we do. It just looks like a cone. Extensions kind of start looking like cones on the higher time frame. So I'm going to move this premium level down to that 38% retracement. In my opinion, shorts above the premium or longs below, at or below the discount, at or above the premium. That's the money pot. This is kind of no man's land for me right now. Wouldn't want to long it, wouldn't want to short it. Everything in between these right now. Ideally, unfortunately, I didn't even trade this morning on this number at all, but we ran right into it and then looked like we've held some longs. But we'll see what happens when we get up to the higher time frame, 38 there. And if, let's see, make sure that's the right 38 because I have two on my screen that are very close to one another. No, it is not. It is a little bit higher. That 38 is the higher time frame, September 11th anchor. And then, guys, if we are continuing lower, I've mentioned, we've been talking about these anchors that go back a bit and the September 11th high to high, that 50% retracement has traded in the ES. It's at 58.69s, actually 58.66. It is not traded in the NASDAQ. That very well may be where we're going to kind of come off of. So that level in the NQ, if we're going there, is 20,875. Okay. And then just to go over oil, because holy moly, I mean, oil's in the biggest move it's been in like a year right now. I think this might, I mean, this breakout here, this is the last extension I had drawn. We never got to the 50, which I was hoping we would. 72. This is starting to look like Bitcoin. Oh, you know, we did get to the 50. I lied. We traded the 38, rotated new high, dropped back to the 50, and now we have completed that. I mean, we're just ripping to profit targets. We might get all the way to the negative 61, so I'm just going to set an alert at that negative 61. Maybe we get a blow off there. Not that this is definitely a market I don't really want to step in front of, but fill up your car today, right? Before they update these prices. But I mean, this is, you know, on a higher time frame. I don't know if we end up breaking out of this freaking massive wedge or if this is already considered a breakout here today. But this thing has basically really not done much on a larger scale in a couple years. Might be a good time to look at some energy stocks. But I'm going to stick to trading, you know, NQ, ES, focus on our indexes. But definitely viable trades there in CL, and that thing's really pumping. I'll share these levels with you guys in the room, and I'll talk